Yay! I did a fancy
Yay.
intro.
Clipping.
I'm clipping.
Yeah. For any of those that are on right now, if you want to chime in and let us know how audio is for both me and John.
Join the conversation.
Yeah, join the conversation.
I am working on the price list as we speak.
TD says all good.
Yay!
Yay!
It's a short price list this week, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a sign for things to come, or what.
That's a good question, man. I don't know. Scary.
I mean, we can track down just about anything, but going off of what's provided by our suppliers, this is a very small list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 19 of some of the more popular machines. That's all we have.
I mean, we can find whatever somebody's looking for, but in most cases, I should say. But yeah, I mean, why focus on a list, a sheet, the size of the Great Wall of China when, we can focus on what actually sells and get it out to you guys. So that's fun.
Sorry, we're just quiet because we've been all over the place lately. Got tons of shipments coming in, going out. New co-op going online. You guys saw the live stream last week. Kind of gave you guys a tour of that, and
So that is up and running.
Yeah.
So we've finally got power situated. The internet is connected in. Everything is humming as it should be. For those that host with us, we have just a tiny bit more power that we could utilize if you want to jump in at 12 cents. Otherwise, on to bigger and better things for the 5 megawatt, which is slowly coming to fruition. And we should be taking basically after this month, it's literally a countdown. So taking possession, we are hoping in July, and everything is on cue for that to happen. Yeah, if you guys are looking to expand your farm, host things like that, right off the bat, we're probably going to have about 4 megawatts available to us. However, we are potentially working some deals right now that could consume a couple of those megawatts. So at minimum, probably looking at like 2 or 3 that'll be like for sure available megawatt wise. And we've put on Twitter a post, advertising out 1 megawatt packages. Literally can get in a full megawatt worth of machines, some 90Ts at less than $500,000, considerably less than $500,000. Not to say that you guys have, $500,000 in, sitting around.
I don't.
But yeah, but yeah. So we're there, 9 cents kilowatt hour. And as we get that up and running, we're pushing to 12 cents, or not 12 cents. We'll be pushing to our 12 months from now, 12 to 18 months, our 35 megawatt build out. That will entail sub 9 cents a kilowatt hour. It will be offered to anybody that is at our 5 megawatt facility first, and then we'll be taking new clients. So fun times.
Yay!
Updates
More
with
work.
mine. Yeah, updates
I'll
with mine.
be. I can't wait to be able to give you guys a tour of the new facility, the new 5. There's 5 to 7 megawatts in this building. we're doing it in stages. Like Mark said, 3's coming online first, then 5, and then 7 down the line. There's room for shipping containers. There's room for solar. There's room for uh, wind turbines. There's tons of room at this new facility. I can't wait to give you guys a tour once we have the keys in hand, and hire a shipping department and customer service department. So Mark and I are doing it all ourselves. Um, that's what I think I'm most excited about is getting somebody on staff to handle shipping and receiving on location instead of having it go to, say, PO box or UPS pickup, and have it shipped directly to our facility. Not to say we can't do that now. It's just we don't have the manpower to be at the farm 24/7 to receive in shipments. This new facility actually has a shipping or a receiving area that is unmanned. So a UPS driver or DHL can just kind of drop it off in this location and not have to worry about the security of the building, which is really nice. So I'm looking forward to that big time.
Yep. Making moves. So before we get into like the AMA stuff and more housekeeping, we'll go over the first time every time. So for today only, first time every time, S19J 104T, we're looking at $17.99. That would be all in. If you want to use PayPal, add 5%. But that's it. DM us on Twitter. Hit us up on the website. We will send a direct invoice. Deal of the day. First time every time. Maybe we should post this on Twitter, huh?
I mean, we're live on Twitter actually too, believe it or not. But
okay.
yeah, if you want to post it on Twitter, you can. I don't think
people
anybody
don't
really
watch-
watches us on Twitter or
No.
Odyssey, even though we go live on Twitter and
Both.
Odyssey the same time we go live here on YouTube.
Awkward.
I never really see the statistics for Twitter or Odyssey. I can only see one at a time. If I pull up too many, I start to lag. So,
okay.
But
Yeah,
supposedly we're live on Twitter. I can pull it up on my phone, I think. That would anybody ever...
I can sense the sarcasm there.
No sarcasm.
Shipping is fun. I manage about 200 truckloads of shipments per day. Yeah, I can sense the sarcasm with that. One thing I wanted to go like a little bit of a housekeeping, I guess. So everybody we've been dealing with in the Discord, we're trying to do some things with the Malt Miner M2. We're currently working on an RMA process for specific boards, so we can just get people made whole on their shipments or their machines. Still, honestly, the Malt Miner, I know that like YouTubers have gotten a hold of it and they've had their issues. They have, people in Discord, those that are chiming up are having issues. However, a majority of the batch itself is still quality-wise, it's no better than Bitmain. And we're having issues with Bitmain right now, with the E9 Pros. Like people are honestly like boards not working on the E9 Pro. PSU fan power supply things are just Bitmain's quality is no better than any of the other manufacturers, large, bigger, smaller. So we're working on the RMA process with the Malt Miner or 124 Miner, whatever name they want to go by this week. And once we get that all set up, John's going to intake the boards that are coming in. He's going to send them over to China. We'll get the replacements. Yeah, heads up, John. And then we'll distribute it out to those that have sent them in. So just keep an eye on that. And when you're sending in your boards, if you haven't already asked or sent them in, just make sure you put your order number on there, your name, just so we know what board is going where, and we can make a list so we can send everything out. Once we get the
Please.
actual, once we get the board, once we get the boards back, we will not be testing the boards. So when we get them back, John's just going to turn them right around and send them out to you. So just heads up, when you put them in, plug them in, make sure, things are going well, and then just hit us up with any issues that you have from there on. An update from Malt Miner, they are moving to a different machine. Actually, before I go to that, the FPGAs, right? So right now we're getting a lot of questions from people, or just not even, more questions, troubleshooting, things like that. More than just in the Discord as to, well, this machine isn't hashing at what it's supposed to be, or I'm having trouble setting it up on Linux. Not the Malt Miner, but like the other FPGA we have, the FK 33 Force Kit and FPGA. These are like graphics cards. Silicon lotteries involved. I know some of them have like a chip issue here or there with the Malt Miner. However, like getting them set up, these are not for someone that is like new right into mining. If you are new into mining, you need to go with something that is like more traditional, as in an ASIC sense. And honestly, you should be looking at something that you could learn from. So that would be like Gold Shell, any of those cheap box miners, L3, S9, learn, get your feet wet, and then join the big boy club and getting the E9, S19, things like that. Because even for an experienced miner, the S19, once it starts to have problems, it is difficult to troubleshoot these machines. It's not just like, let's just unplug this and swap this and things like that. It's not that easy. And the RMA process, especially with Bitmain, is grueling. It's awful. It just, they take forever. Even stateside, the reps here, or the repair companies that do RMA work for Bitmain, warranty work for Bitmain, they don't communicate. Everything goes through Bitmain, and Bitmain has to get to them, and it is a headache.
If you guys want to handle the RM, we are here to help. You bought the equipment from us. We're here to help with through the RMA process. But like Mark says, it takes a while, and we have customers coming in with RMAs from all over the place. If you are trying to save a little bit of time, you can always do the RMA process on your own through the Bitmain website. It's a couple steps. It's not super difficult. We can even help you with shipping. We have discounted shipping, so we can help you there. But if you want to ship something out yourself and RMA it yourself, we can guide you the process instead of having it sent to us, me taking the machine apart and then sending out a board. Because typically all we're doing for RMAs, if it's a bad board, we're sending the board out, or we're sending the board out in batches. Like I'm doing a box of 20 or 30 boards at one time to the RMA process with serial numbers on each board, so I know which machines they go back in. So if you're looking to speed up the process a little bit, try doing the RMA yourself. If not, we are always here to help, guys. I'm not saying we're not going to help you. I'm just saying, it might be a little bit faster.
I'm saying that.
Mark over there.
Yeah, I'm saying that. Customer Service Employee of the Month is saying, go do your own RMA. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Like John said, we're here to help. But the thing is what I was really getting at, machines, everybody has their issues with a machine here or there. We're here to help as troubleshooting, trying to figure things out. But again, these FPGAs, the M2, FK33, anything that basically has any relation to graphics processing is almost identical, regardless of its case, its shape, its form, what it looks like. It's a graphics card. So you got to tune it. You got to get everything going. So, just if you have issues, let us know. If you come to us and you're like, hey, it's not hashing at what rate it's going to hash, or like what was advertised, you haven't tuned the machine yet, is basically what I'm getting at. So I know there are people in Discord where there's a scenario that's different to that, but what we're seeing from those that are not in Discord is everything's working as it's supposed to. They're not tuning the machine. So, and that just need, we want to address that. I want to address that because honestly, I'm troubleshooting something with you where you should have taken the time to actually dive in the machine, join the Discord, join the conversation, talk about tuning. Like right now, we have in the Discord channel for the M2, since the Radiant bitstream has come out, the initial quote to us, which I shared a screenshot of from our translator to Maltminer, was that they would be doing it roughly at 30 gigahash on Radiant. You take that for a grain of salt because all they're doing is just spitting numbers at you. But we have a competition going on right now where if someone can actually get a 24-hour average at 30 gigahash on Radiant on this machine, we will mine to your wallet with our machine. And there are some others that have also stepped up that said that they would do something similar. So we're holding a contest. And, if anybody does, you guys, you bought an M2. Those of you here in the States, those of you in Russia, because that's where the other batch went. And you're catching this, and somehow you know English. Join the Discord. Let's try to see if we can get a 24-hour average, 30 gigahash on Radiant. Ironfish is next for the M2, so there is a bitstream. I am also talking to a dev right now who is creating a Radiant bitstream for the FK33, and that will be rolling in hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, I think even blast out the stream. Let's hit RPM level viewer count. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, really, FPGAs are not for the faint of heart. They're not for newbies. Like, let's be real. You need to be real with yourself. If you're not ready, if you're not at an advanced level of tuning a graphics card, and you're like new into mining, don't buy either one of these machines. You can't buy the Maltminer anymore, anyways. Like I was saying earlier, they are coming out with a new iteration of the miner. That'll be coming here pretty soon. And more than likely, once we get more details on that, we'll share it out and put it out there. Based on those in the States, though, I'm sure with what the YouTubers and which I don't know why I keep referring to them as YouTubers. We're on YouTube streaming. They've expressed their viewpoint on it. John has expressed his viewpoint on the machine that we got. But again, we're actually playing with it. Like we're overclocking it and things like that where, the other YouTubers are not. So, we're finding better efficiencies in the machine. And just based on the conversation we're having with people in Discord, they're also, getting better hash rates and things like that. But yeah, new machine coming from Maltminer. We'll update that when it comes out. FK33 is still on the website, and we definitely have like a batch of maybe like 20 left or so. Can get more, but I honestly don't think we're going to. So if we can get these out of the door, I would prefer that and then go from there. But there is a Radiant stream coming for the FK33. It sounds like there might be an Ironfish one also. But I'm in a constant communication now with a dev that is launching some firmware. I posted in our Discord what's coming. They're doing some shitcoin first. I think it's like Kayla coin or something like that. I don't remember. And then they're gonna fine tune that one, work on Radiant because it's pretty similar as the bitstream. So the core package of the Radiant one will be in this Kayla coin one. And then he'll take the core package and just basically modify it for Radiant. And then he should start working on Ironfish. And it seems like that this is going to be the trajectory for those that are, basically GPU mineable coins. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a Nexa I know that Wolf is in our Discord channel. He does a lot of bit streams for like Team Red Miner or some of the other ones, and he said that for at least for the M2, Ergo's not a possibility, but just because it uses a lot of memory bandwidth, I feel like that could be like a modification on the control board where we can add memory somewhere.
Yeah, we've seen that before with like the E3s.
Yeah. So just adding extra joules or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just as frustrated as everybody else when it comes to the FPGAs, just because it's for a GPU miner, and I would say that like I'm intermediate. I'm not advanced or anything, but well, I mean, I would say like I'm more than a beginner when it comes to GPU mining, but I'm not like super advanced. Like I can't go in and like fix a graphics card that I can unbrick a graphics card, but I can't go in and like, oh, I got to change this module out or something along those lines. So I get where like the frustration with the M2, things like that, are on for some that are not like even at like a level where I'm at. But then once we start tuning, right, we're tuning in these M2s or the FK33, like the results are where we're saying they are or where they should be.
Yeah, with tuning, it seems, and I went over this in my video a little bit with the M2. To me, it seems like these machines came with a default low power setting on the machine. I don't know why they did it this way, but I got the Discord pulled up. I mean, there's this conversation is going on, night and day. We have guys that are, have figured out the passwords to SSH and putty into these machines, and they're changing configuration files through SSH. Rather than going the route I did with modifying the JSON file. So lots of conversations being had. Lots of very knowledgeable people are in the chat, far knowledgeable than myself or Mark when it comes to these machines and getting into some of these bitstream files. So check out the Discord, guys. If you have an M2, if you know someone has an M2, I mean, we'll make a short of this section, I guess, to kind of point people more towards the Discord to keep the conversation going. Because the more we kind of play with these machines, the more people have their hands on and they're diving into it, the more information is going to come out, and the better the tunes will become, and the better the performance will be there. There very, very few machines these days are plug and play. Whether it's Bitmain M2, FPGAs, FK33s, it's not as passive as you may believe when you pull up ASIC miner value and they give you this extraordinary number of profit, right? It takes a little bit more in depth to get these machines operating properly, hashing correctly, rejections low. There's so many issues that can arise. Proper network, proper pool. So there's a ton of different factors, but join the Discord if you're not there. Mark and I are usually on the website as well. There's a forum on the website. If you are a site member on the website, create a new forum for the M2. I think there's already one there. Have a conversation over there. It doesn't have to be on Discord if you don't have Discord. So we've tried to give people a few different outreaches to play with machines and share information.
Heck yeah. No, dude, we're trying. So we're trying to help out people as much as we possibly can. But that help can only go so far. So everybody's got to like this. When it comes to modifying things, it basically like a community, right? A GPU community. We're all in it here together. We need to work on it together. Basically, it's not like, well, I bought this and now, Coastal Crypto screwed me and yada, yada, yada. It's like, no, we're here to provide you a machine. We're not here to hold your hand and walk you through the entire process of setting something up. Known issues like on machines, even ASICs, right? The E9 Pro takes like 20 minutes on its first boot and any subsequential boot after that to start mining. So if like you're in there and you set your pool, you put your password, things like that. You're trying to get it online, and that's if you put it to a compatible pool. You're waiting 20 minutes for it to actually start mining. And then once actually, it starts mining and you're like, oh, it's not performing the way it should be. It's because it wasn't tested long enough, or, so something's going on with the E9 that it needs more time to try to figure out. And then you're like frustrated because you might think it's a latency issue, and then you change the pool. These are examples that I'm sharing with you guys that I'm getting, John's getting for the E9, and just basic troubleshooting stuff and things that we've gone through at the mine for clients getting theirs up and running, right? They change the pool because they think the latency is a problem, and lo and behold, 20 minutes starts over again because you're trying to reconnect right to a different pool. Like all of a sudden you're into the machine at the first get-go 2 hours, and you're like, forget this machine. This machine's awful. I want a refund, yada, yada, yada. You're not even giving it a chance to boot up. So when anybody comes to us and they're like, hey, something's not happening, we ask for a screenshot right away. I've had people share their screenshot and it says it's been running for 5 minutes and clearly nothing's going on. And I'm like, come back to me in 20 minutes. and then we hear nothing. So just a heads up, all these machines have quirks, and yeah, we're here to help, but we're not going to be holding your hand, walking you through every single step. So on from there. So we went over the giveaway that we're doing with the M2 miner, hash rate. We went over all these troubleshooting things that we're going over. Our first time, every time sale. All right, that's the stream, guy. See you later. Hit us. Tell like comment in this in the comments here. Like tell us, ask a question. Tell us what troubles you're having. I know there's some other stuff we need to go over because we already went over the mine. So the co-op location is up and running. We have those that are there are all 100%. We have this much power, like literally enough maybe for a couple machines that we can throw on. And yeah. Oh, here's the price list.
Yeah, I said it was short, guys. I wasn't kidding. This is it. Again, we can get our hands on just about anything. This is just the list that is what's hot to our suppliers or what they think is most relevant. So this is what they push out to us unless we request something different. So this is something that comes into us on a regular basis. We do our magic, put it out like this. But if you're looking for something specific, let us know. Other than that, this is what we got. I mean, I kind of brought it up as we're looking at prices. We can look at hash rates, I guess. Let me see if I can. This has been a big topic of discussion for a number of people.
Yeah, I agree.
Every board, every machine, every M2, they're all different.
They're all different. It silicone lottery. It's like if you got a batch of 4090s and one isn't doing 5 mega hash more than the other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. And honestly, the evolution of what GPU mining is going through, just think about it, like how fast these GPUs are becoming power hungry machines, right? The going from the 3090 Ti, which they consume a ridiculous amount of power, now to the 4090, which also consumes a ridiculous amount of power. The next step literally is going to be some form of FPGA. Like it graphics cards, I honestly, like, I don't mean to be grim about graphics card mining, but come the next cycle, it's not, I don't think it's going to look pretty. Like
they'll be dev use only.
Yeah, it's something. Like, you're already starting to see projects go to proof of useful work, right? So they're trying to figure out some way to utilize miners' graphics cards to basically do storage AI or AI functionalities on their rigs, and so that means that you're gonna have to start beefing up, what your motherboard you're running, the CPU that's involved. Like, there's a lot of different other things that are going to be, again, eventually you're going to be moving towards just a few rigs in your garage to, I need to set up a server system. And it's going to get to the point to where, like, it's just not, graphics cards are not mining or not contributing to the blockchains as they once did. Not to sound grim, we are GPU miners. That's how I started my journey. I love GPU mining, but this is the evolution that it is really looking very clear, at least to me, how it's all pertaining. Sorry for interrupting you, John. I know you're about to go into this lovely machine that its profit is dropping day by day, by day by day by day.
I'm not even looking at number one. That's a joke at this point. Yeah.
No, but we should talk about it. We should. So
It's a money grab. It's a cash grab from Bitmain. It's
100
a KA3 all over again.
100%. So here is my thoughts, and then John, chime in with basically anything as I go over this, right? So me and John, yeah, it's not really a rant. Me and John, obviously, were mining Caspa near the beginning. I would say maybe a couple months after, so a month, a couple months, something along those lines. Like, after he announced that he was doing it, mining Caspa, things like that, and he became a Caspa millionaire. We didn't hit millionaire status when it came to Caspa, but we do have a hefty bag, and we have not sold any of it yet. This machine, so obviously there have been the hash rate wars that are going right now with Ice River. The M2 had the bitstream, and the reason we liked the M2 was because once CASP was done, we just moved to the next one, which we're already moved on to Radiant. We're focusing on Radiant. Caspa, Ice Rivers come out, and the Ice River machines now look almost identical to that's with two boards, right?
Yeah.
So the Ice Rivers, identical, at least hash rate wise, are to this new KS3. The model numbers KS3, KS2, KS0, like it's all the same. Like, it at this point, it seems like Ice River is the R&D company for Bitmain. Like, Ice River showed the interest here. Bitmain, here's the interest of the machine. Bitmain's like, all right, we'll start looking at it. Bitmain now is funding their project to actually start making the KS3. So I'm sure people have seen on the internet that there's actually one out there with a sticker. It's basically a KA3 with a KS3 sticker on it. It basically the same machine look out visually. It's the same machine. So who knows if it's actually real, if they're throwing them on the network at this point or anything.
It would be nice if we get to the point where we can actually start taking these machines apart and tracing the chips, and having that kind of funds and availability as a company to do that for you guys would mean huge volumes. Just as I would love to give you guys that kind of access. Being able to pull apart an Ice River machine, look at the board, look how it's manufactured, and compare it to what Bitmain's doing, and kind of connect the dots would be huge.
Yeah.
Sorry, just
no, because there are machines like Blue Star. The Blue Star L1 is very similar to a knockoff of another machine that we've seen. So like there are little things that you can make connections to, and like I was saying earlier, like, Ice River more than likely the R&D for Bitmain. Any conspiracy, grab my tinfoil hat. That's literally what it's going to be. What I am mowing over right now and kind of like pondering, I guess, right? this deal that has been made with Bitmain, and I should say supposedly, like it's one website put out a blog, and like no one's really confirmed it. Like Bitmain hasn't confirmed the deal's been made, things like that. I can't even get our suppliers to say that that this deal has been solidified or anything like that. But with Vipertech and Bitmain securing 1,500 KS3s, what we do know right now is that the Hong Kong warehouse, in which where I would say 85% of all Bitmain machines ship from, will have availability of 1,500 to 2,000 machines. That we know right off the bat. That I have confirmed with our suppliers. Multiple.
Similar numbers to the KA3.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's also, 1,500 is literally the same exact number that Vipera Tech says that they have secured. So basically what I'm thinking is that Vipera Tech decided to put some blog out to do their hustle, to say like they're getting, a big batch of these for resale, to drive business. In reality, they're going to be sitting in Hong Kong and available to anybody that wants to literally buy them. So, we'll probably have access to the same exact batch that they have, or will have. They just put out a blog and honestly, more than likely did something shady. And I'm not trying to like talk shit about another company, right? I'm just trying to explain what I'm seeing on the back end with like our suppliers when I ask these questions to them. So, I'm asking the questions. Hey, it seems like X company, Vipertech, secured 1,500. Do you have, how much are going to be available? What was the details of their deal? Things like that. Not so much as like what they paid, but basically, how many, right? Like, how can you give us any more? And they can't even validate that they secured 1,500. All they can say is, well, the warehouse is going to be getting 1,500 to 2,000, and when they're ready to ship, hopefully in August, if Bitmain hits their date, which they normally don't do, then first come first serve. It's not, this amount is going to Vipertech and so on and so forth. Now, Bitmain can make private deals with companies and that go directly to their farm, which, that's possible. It's too many things are similar, if that makes sense. What are your thoughts, John?
Yeah, I mean, this whole go around has kind of left a bad taste in my mouth with Bitmain. It's just kind of everything's kind of coming to a head, I guess, in my mind with Bitmain. The quality of the machines going down, the taking customers for a ride when it comes to pre-sales and everything else. So if you don't have a product, don't sell the product. I mean, this Bitmain's a big company. They boast that they have all this money and these build outs and these farms and these facilities. Build a machine and sell it in batches. You don't have to do. I don't know. It's poor ethics, business ethics, in my opinion. And then you have Vipertech saying that they have 1,500. Nobody can confirm it, and similar numbers to what we saw with the KA3. There's too many similarities to what's going on. That's why we're not really selling the KS3, and why we don't really have the KA3 listed on our site, because we're still waiting on pre-orders that we placed for that machine. So it's a tough situation for the small retailers like us and for hobbyists that are trying to get their hands on these machines. By the time they come out to the consumer, we saw a couple days ago it was $3,000 a day in profit. Now it's down to 1,600 in profit. Sooner it'll be 500 and 100, and then hey, where's the KA3 on this list? It's not even in the top 20. So, it. I don't know. It's a tough sell for me. It is.
Yeah. I'm not spending 50 grand on this machine, and I'm advising people not to either. Now, we do have it listed on the website, so if people do want to take that risk, yay, good for you. We'll secure it for you. And obviously, we've been making fun of this whole situation because the day that this thing was announced, we launched a meme price. Then we changed the price because Bitmain was trying to, source the. They were trying to source the price basically with their contest. I think we'll probably end up listing the Z15 Pro just because it seems more reasonable and logical. It doesn't have much hype behind it. The Z15 itself is still okay. So maybe we'll go that route and get that going. But yeah, you know, I had so much hope for Caspa, and what Bitmain's doing is very discouraging. So I still think that Caspa is the right move for blockchain technology. Their transactions per second is very relevant to the industry and is going to be very attractive to credit card processing companies to try to get them adapted into this scene. So that'll be fun. And hopefully, we'll have some type of if you want to just focus solely on profitability, some type of profitability there. Otherwise, yeah, just hodl. That's literally what we'll be doing. So yes, our price was right. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we keep it at that. What else you guys got? He was watching
The
it on
D9
Twitter.
has been, being talked about again. A Dash miner, those are not new machines, and they're. What do we have before the D9? What was the machine that was the D3 or something?
D7 was out.
D7. And now we got the D9 hitting the streets again.
Yeah, so Dash fork failed. Someone was trying to do a fork, I think, to get the ASICs off of the network or something along those lines. I'm not really following it. Dash is just that. It's Dash. So Kadena is more going to be coming along the lines of Dash, the way that things are going, and we'll see other chains probably follow suit. But yeah, so people are having trouble putting their D9 back on the network because the fork failed. So yeah, it seems like Dash is, still profitable on that D9.
Yeah, I mean, Fully Electric says he's got a few Z15s himself. We just got a bunch in the facility, the co-op. I just turned on 4 or 5 of them the other day. So, people are still mining with them.
Mm-hmm.
We need more firmware. I'm all about the firmware. We need better firmware for this shit.
Yeah, I asked
for everything.
So it appears that as we move to our 5 megawatt facility, we're going to be hosting quite a few E9s and E9 Pros. And so I did ask Hive. I said, hey, we literally have sold hundreds of these at this point. And we're more than likely going to have a good handful of them at the mine. Like, are you guys working on anything? And I'm waiting for them to respond. So hopefully, there's something down the lines for the Z9 Pros. I'm sure, we have Luxor Tech, which a ripoff of some other firmware, which they may be able to tune them. So I'm sure there'll be something comes out on E9 because these E9s are too popular. I think there's like 2,500 left in the Hong Kong warehouse right now. Yeah, and like they've been doing very well. ETC has been holding steady. Like honestly, the E9 I think is a very safe play right now, and it will be. I think it'll be promising in the future.
I like the power consumption on them. We're like 2,200 watts, at the current settings. So very very favorable for hosting in mines. especially when I'm not having to load balance, every 10 feet, a bunch of machines. So,
Yeah.
I like them.
And if there's anything like, if you guys have watched previous streams, this would be at least months now at this point. We modified an E3 when E3s were still fairly profitable and everything was moving to ETC, that the ETH merge was happening. And, we were able to figure out, even without firmware, we were able to figure out how to get efficiency up on those machines. So it is very promising with these E9s that I'm sure as people really start to explore them, that we should see some type of uptick in efficiency. I wouldn't put it past that we see like E9 OG E9s start to uptick and get more efficient as people start playing with them also.
100%. 100%.
What else do we have?
I
We
mean,
used to have agendas. What happened to that?
I know, right? We're just kind of winging it at this point. Look,
Dude,
I
you're
mean,
so
I went
busy.
past the 5 o'clock
Yours,
shadow. It's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock shadow. I mean, I haven't shaved in days. I usually try to keep the beard trimmed. I'm going on, fumes here.
yeah,
No, I mean, it's been we've sold a bunch of E9s. They're definitely popular. We've seen the popularity of the E9s definitely kick off in the recent weeks, not just because we have a promo going on, or we had a promo. I don't know if it's still active or not. I don't know. Message Mark, we'll figure it out. But we did a blah, 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 blah. We did a deal on the E9s, and our UPS, local UPS guys are not happy with us because they're not light machines.
no, they're not.
And it's a small little storefront. But I bring them food. I say thank you. Coffee, donuts, whatever. And they usually take pretty good care of the packages. I don't know what's going on with UPS lately. I don't know if it's just the size of these machines, but we have had a couple boxes get pretty banged up in shipping. So working on that as well. Smash that like, yeah.
There he is, RPM popping in. What's up, homie?
There you go. Yeah, I mean they're not light machines. They're almost 50 pounds, right? They're 44, 50 pounds a piece.
Yeah,
And the size of the package alone, it's double. It's a third bigger than the S19 shipping box. So we can share some pictures of the new facility if you want.
yeah, that's fine.
I think I can find some that don't give away location yet. I mean, I'm trying to convince Mark to let us do meet and greets and all this other stuff at this new facility because it's such a nice facility. It's in the middle of a big open field, surrounded by mountains, 36 acres of land, big parking lot. It's got like a presentation hall. I want to do more with it. I'm looking forward to getting in there. I got the blueprints for it. I guess I can share this. Let's do this. This will work. Where is share screen? There you go.
Hey, that's gonna be our setup.
Yep. Can I make this bigger? Let's find out. Bam. So this is half of the building. There is a full another warehouse with high bay ceilings just past the main switchgear. But this is where our first main build out is going to be. A little bit of a shipping area over here with a loading ramp, bunch of offices, locker rooms, kind of a covered picnic area outside, right next to the extremely loud air handlers for the AC units. But it's got a little bit of a little presentation hall here in the front with the kitchen set up for entertaining or doing whatever, and offices, switchgear, server rooms. It's a pretty sweet little setup that we stumbled upon. I'm excited to get in there to start really putting our spin on it. Oh, what the heck's going on? I don't want that to show up. There we go.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's like I said, it's got a huge parking garage, huge parking area, big open field. We could set up a stage, do meet and greets, open panels for people to come out, talk, ask questions, that kind of thing. Invite a bunch of other YouTubers down to do a big event, have a cookout. So I'm excited about it, and it's got far more security than we've had already built in. I don't have to do a whole lot. I mean, it's already got the magnetic doors and switches and keypads that I don't have to already integrate into the system. It's already got cameras and networking throughout the whole facility. So we were really lucky to stumble upon it. Excited to get going and really start pushing the limits with some of this mining stuff. I want to get wind turbines on the roof to help,
offset.
I
want to do DIY solar too. Like I don't want to have to deal with the company. Yeah, I don't want to deal with a company. I want to just get like, as we have a client or two drop off a shipping container, which is currently in the works. I want to install a leverage system on there and do like a DIY solar system on top that we can mess with, basically, like do some peak shaving with it or something along those lines.
It just that sounds like more work for me.
Well, we hopefully at that point we have staff on hand. We can figure that out. This is it's a dream down the road, not like let's do it tomorrow.
Right.
I'm still trying to figure out how inverters work and things like that. RPM, I just saw your message. I'll respond to you on whatever. I just saw your message though, but yes, we can. So I'll make sure we get that ordered. Anyways, so to jump back into the building. So John's shown this graph we had to show to one of our potential investors. So we built this for them, and basically each aisle here should be 1 megawatt. So like we're showcasing here, basically 3 megawatts worth of machines. Honestly, if we wanted to really condense it, which we'd have to work on airflow first just to make sure, we most likely, and this again, down the road, not like immediately once we get in this building, we could do 1 megawatt per lane that's showing here. And then as we get like another transformer hooked up in the building and kind of spread this out, we could do yet another, like each lane could be 1 megawatt worth of machines. Or initially what we've been pitching to like potential investors who want to come in and help with this setup is where we have this diagram would be just all of our open air rigs shooting into a hot aisle, sucked up out the ceiling. And then this blank canvas that's next to it where you have like this walkway and the AC bank, would be all immersion setup. And like, say we get, some systems or rack mount things from DCX or fog hashing, basically whatever the preference is to the client. And then we start rolling them in, have the dry coolers there, probably have a big dry cooler that just shoots out right off the side of the building in a container versus have it inside the actual building. But yep. Are you resting out space, or is that all yours? So this is like a rent to own, lease to own type thing.
Yeah.
So the way our contract is built with our current landlord, because they own the castle, we are leasing to own the building, and basically they have watched us experience our troubles entering the building and getting up and running, and have acquired this building and are okay basically transferring over our current terms to this building, with obviously adjustments numbers wise, as to, because this building is set up in more detail, has a lot more power available, so there's a lot of, so those numbers change, but essentially our initial terms will kind of stay the same.
Okay, I should label this one Mark's bedroom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no more no more hotels when I go there, dude. I'm just staying right at the mine. I'll have a whole setup. First, it'll be a cot, and then I'll get like a big ass king bed, and we'll just have a room there.
It's got a full
For
locker room and
overnighter.
showers. It's ready to go.
Yeah. Yes. So.
No, we're looking forward to it. I know I definitely am. Not just from a shipping standpoint, but infrastructure build out wise, steel racks, proper ventilation. I'm not 15 feet up on a ladder welding in grates because you got to close off a door, like I had to do with the castle. But uh, I enjoy doing the build outs. This is just going to make the build outs that much easier and smoother transition.
Oh yeah,
Forward, so.
Streamline for sure. Like just basically the way that we're envisioning it, like racks going straight down a line, PDUs, shooting down, probably sitting like right in between, a lane in the middle a little bit. If you can imagine with me here on one of these aisles, right? And yeah, there'll be some, what is it, like R8 material from on the one side for the hot aisles, and basically we'll be making a makeshift room that can have the air all sucked out. Yeah, it's just so much more streamlined the way that we're envisioning this.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Aeromine turbines. I've talked to them a number of times. I'm hoping if I say it enough, they'll reach out to us, or they'll actually answer my emails, because they are based in Texas, but they have a fantastic product that I think can be retrofitted for heat extraction for mining farms. So maybe if I say it enough, Aeromine, they'll get a hold of us and we can figure out something. Put a couple of units on the roof. It's a fantastic design. I love it. Using Venturi effect and getting that exhaust air out.
Yeah,
it's just we've entertained so many different ideas and had so many different ideas being thrown at us for what to do with all this hot exhaust air. Just recently, somebody asked, how hot is the exhaust air? Can it be used to preheat a coffee bean roaster? Instead of powering it up, they're using the exhaust air to preheat the beans to be roasted. So there's tons of ideas out there. We just need to capitalize on one of them to make mining more efficient, electrical cost wise. So any questions, thoughts, concerns? Here, I'll toss up the banner one last time for the first time every time sale. Yay!
Yeah, that's 19J 104T 17.99. If you're paying via PayPal, add 5%.
Pay crypto, it's faster. It's a crypto company, guys. You're buying crypto equipment, pay with crypto.
Seriously.
Plus, PayPal sucks. Oh, did I say that out loud? Are we going to get kicked off again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. J&M, can you get a steam generator and capitalize on the hot air?
It would be, so at the most, it would be a preheat setup. You're going to have loss through thermal transit or uh, the length of the tube or exhaust or whatever you're using to run to a steam engine or steam generator. It would be used to preheat water or preheat the steam component, but it couldn't actually create steam. Um, so, I mean, you could offset some of the costs, trapping some of that exhaust, but it wouldn't be able to do the full system.
So
Yes,
occasion minder,
co-op is up and running.
yeah, co-op is running. If there's a machine that's supposed to be on, DM us on Twitter or on the website or however you communicate with us, and tell John to get back to work.
I'm trying. I'm trying to keep everybody happy.
Yeah, John needs a break though. Honestly, like that light is at the. I was telling him the other day. Light is at the end. Light is at the end of the tunnel. Right, we could see it. So a lot of things are going on. Too many things, in my opinion. But yes, buy Mark a whip. No, I honestly I do not. I if I do come off like that, John, you need to tell me. But I hope that I don't come off like that when we're talking. Like
No,
most of,
it's Mark's handling a lot of the customer service stuff right now. I'm trying my best to keep up with the conversations and help out where I can. I'm balancing shipping and setup right now. That's been my biggest, struggle. Like I said, we don't have a shipping department yet. We're outsourcing a lot of our shipping to a local UPS store that we've kind of become friendly with, and they've been a huge, huge help to us. But once the co-op, well, not the co-op, once the what do we call it? What are we even calling this place? The forge, the foundry.
no, I thought
Forge.
this was the forge.
Forge. Okay, this is the forge. Once the forge is up and running, it will have its own shipping department, and then we can hire, sales people to work in house, along with techs and a shipping department. We've actually already been talking to another subscriber and Discord member about working with us, creating a subsidiary to start our own repair service in house. This location will allow us to do all of that, or at least put the step in the right direction.
Yep. What is your current hosting price for a single miner to 50 miners? 9 cents kilowatt hour. We can turn you on as soon as August. If you buy the machines from us, we require 1 month of assumed power as a deposit. If the machines are coming inbound from anywhere else, we require 2 months of assumed power consumption for whatever it is, whether it's one machine or 50 machines, 100 machines, all the same. The only difference that we have right now with the promotions that we have going on is, again, our 1 megawatt package. We only require 1 month deposit, and then you just pick the machines that you're, in the package of which you want to set up and run, and we'll get it going. We are not accepting anyone new to the farm until August. So if anybody that signs up now would get priority, and their first, energize would be mid to late August.
We're shooting to up that time frame, but we're trying to be, put things in perspective.
I'd rather give you a real timeline and then over deliver.
Yes. What else? I mean, first come first serve kind of scenario. This facility is going to be, I hope, our headquarters, and then we're going to have a 35 megawatt facility at a different site. The people that come into this facility first are going to have first pick of moving to the 35 megawatt facility.
Yeah. So the whole thing with hosting with us at 9 cents a kilowatt hour is more than just your bottom line. It's the what was I going to say? It's the future prospect of what's to come. So as we fold into this new bull market that's running, the bull run that's coming, the bigger guys are going to start increasing their prices. One, because they're already paying more in electric than what they were the past bull run. Like their contracts are coming due with the power companies. They need to renegotiate things to keep their rates, or what the power company is going to do is increase their rates. And so what we have told myself and John is we're not, for the exception of this co-op situation that we're in, right? And this is just a temporary thing for the next couple months. Our price is 9 cents kilowatt hour. Once we move to the 35 megawatt build out, we have already had a power broker negotiate with us to get us sub 9 cents. So that in turn would go to our clients who were in our 5 megawatt facility with us during the journey of these next 12 months. And so essentially we'd be extending out like, hey, this is where we're at in the new facility, 35 megawatt build out. You guys have first dibs. Do you want to move to it? It is going to be a contract. So at that point, we will require people to lock in for 12, 16, 18, 24 months. But you are going to be paying a substantial less than 9 cents kilowatt hour. So, everybody wins basically. And we're going to be extending that out to anybody that joins us in this 5 megawatt journey first.
Yeah, first come, first serve. You get first dibs.
Yeah,
We'll even let you name it. We'll even name a shelf after you. How about that? You'd be the Red Panda mining section.
Right. Any other questions or anything? I know Red Power Mine Crypto and Red Panda Miner, they're like going over on how to function their YouTube channel, how to keep moving, creating more content, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we're horrible at it, so don't ask us.
Yeah. The only thing I could say is work on something where you are like, well, how the hell do I set this up? And then record that and put it out. Just because, you had to experience it doesn't mean that others may not. So how-to videos. Did you see my question about...
There's more packages at the UPS store.
Yes. Yep. There are more. Dude, we have shipments coming in.
Let's see how many. Hold on.
All right. What mining people have you had issues with on the E9 Pro? I have 8 coming and would like to save some time.
Let them boot up. Number one, let them boot up. Pick a pool, stick with it, for at least 2 days. If you have issues, then switch. Each pool is going to sync differently with the E9 Pro and the DAG files.
What
so
pools?
Take your time. What's that?
Yeah, his question. So let me reread his question, and then I'll make the correction. Where is it? Oh, he said, what are some of the pool issues? He asked it a couple times, I guess. Yeah. So what mining people have you had issues with on the E9 Pro? I have 8 coming and would like to save some time. So it's what mining pools? What mining people? So what mining pools?
Lots of people out there, and you need to listen. No.
So the easiest one to connect to is Poolin, surprisingly, but it makes sense because Poolin uses a worker ID. F2 Pool is easy to work with. I have noticed that 2 miners is a headache. It can be done, but you do have to play with it, and it has something to do with your worker name in making sure it sets up. But yes, so F2 Pool has been a headache, at least in our experience. Unmineable can be connected to. I think I'm getting feedback. Unmineable, yeah. Am I hearing feed? What happened? Anyways,
you're hearing things.
yeah, I guess. Where was I at? Oh, unmineable can be set up, but you can't. It is a headache. Don't use the hashtags if someone referred you to unmineable. That's distracting, dude.
I don't hear anything. I think it's you. Does anybody else hear anything?
Maybe it's me then. I don't know.
I lowered my volume.
Oh, I don't know. Anyways, but yes. So the best pools that we've had experience with, Pool In, F2 Pool. Those have been. I don't like F2 Pool because they charge too much. But you know, we use Pool In a lot, even with all the shady things that transpired as the bull run kind of ended. We don't mind to Pool In, but we mind to them, but we don't mind to a Pool In address. And so essentially it just gets paid out to like our wallet or an exchange or something like that. And the reason we're mining to Pool In is because their servers are literally in Virginia where the mine is. So latency is the best out of all the other pools. If there's a specific pool that you're messing with, let us know. Don't use Flex Pool. They don't dual mine. I know that they promise that you could dual mine. They don't. Like I was saying earlier, 2 miners is hard to set up, but it can be done. You have to finagle. It all has to do with the pool info. So you make sure you're connected to the right pool and port, and then you have to mess with your wallet ID, your wallet address, and then the worker name has to be, something easy like E91, E92, or something that it can pick up and read easily. It won't work on Ezil. I've tried many times, and I think beyond Pool In, unmineable has probably been like the better of them, as long as you're not messing with the hashtag stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the pool side. Again, let these machines boot up, please. Don't. It doesn't work after 10 minutes. Let's switch pools. No. Shortest time we've seen is 20 minutes. Longest time we've seen these machines boot up is 40 minutes to an hour. So give them some time to boot up and connect, especially if you're flipping on a bunch of them all at once and you're connecting them all to the same pool. Boot one up, boot the next, and so on. Yeah, give it time to kind of sync and equalize.
And anytime you change something, start the clock all over again.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, I just changed this, and no, it starts the clock all over again. This has been the way that Bitmain machines have worked since the E3. Us owning an E3, we know this experience. So it takes 15 minutes for an E3 to boot up. Same thing, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes longer for these E9s.
Yeah, really anything that's mining the ETC algorithm, right? So
I think it's building the DAG file. That's what it's doing.
And a Silica A11s, whatever it may be, they take some time to boot up. We have seen, because I mean we've gone through a huge batch of these E9 Pros, different variants of them, and the E9s. If you're still having issues after the first boot up, 2-3 hours in, whatever, check the firmware.
Mm-hmm.
Firmware may be an issue because these machines are manufactured. They're manufacturing something else now, so they may have an older firmware. Check the firmware.
I would recommend letting the machine boot up in its entirety. So give it 30 minutes, let it boot. Set your pool, give it 30 minutes, let it boot. And then at that point, if you're not like if like the hash is not what you were thinking it was supposed to be, let's say you're at like 3.5 and you got a 3.6 machine, there are some rejected rates, right? Or your ping is not, something is just not jiving with the machine, then let's go update the firmware, unless you're going to ETHW. But even then, still let the machine boot up in its entirety and then put the firmware on. Another thing too, issue with these E9s is when you, and Bitmain's working on this from my understanding, if they haven't already found a fix, when you flash ETHW onto it, you cannot flash ETC firmware. It's a known issue with Bitmain, and basically if you do it, you're going to brick your device. So don't.
Unless you really want that ETHW and you're a maxi for it.
Yep.
Or we can sell you a control board too.
Yeah. So
But
I think that probably would be the better. Like, buy an extra control board. One has ETHW on it, one has ETC, and then just swap the boards. You may have to reflow them.
Real quick, because I saw it pop up here. Power Mines, congratulations on picking up some L3s. Get some aftermarket firmware on them and start playing. Start tuning, start experimenting, and dive into it. Big boy ASICs, Bitmain's always a great one. Bitcoin is always a great machine to get into, whether it be an S19, 90T, which are really cheap right now, or a 104. But E9 Pros have been super, super popular. Just stay away from the stuff that has just launched, like the KS3s, because those are stupid expensive and are not going to be worth the material that they're made out of here soon.
Do us a solid. Actually, you know what? We don't have it ready for the L3s yet. Never mind. I was gonna say, eventually we'll have L3 firmware from Hive that you can utilize with Coastal Crypto. But, yeah, Bliss, Hive. Who else does firmware for?
ASIC FW.
Yeah, use them all. Do videos on all of them. Don't break your control board.
Learn how to jump the NAND.
Yep. But yeah, on that point, I mean, if there's no more questions, here we go. Do you guys have any Gold Shell LT6 or LT5s? We have LT5s. I can ask our suppliers, see if they have any LT6s laying around or not. I wouldn't expect much stock on those.
We will look.
Yeah.
Hit us up on the website to remind us. Or it's tough to track people down here on YouTube, so hit us up on the website so we can get that, get those numbers to you.
Yeah, there are about 10 Gold Shell X6s left, though, if that's something of interest. They're going for $1,500. So let me know if that would be of interest also. But I'll look. Yeah, they are hard to get. But there are about 12 X6s left, if in case you want to go that path, which it basically is an LT5.
All right, guys, I have to run to go pick up more machines at UPS and pick up my wife from work because her car's broken, so I got to fix that this weekend. Yay. But we always appreciate you guys. Make sure you join that conversation. Discord chat for the M2 is a great place for more information. Mark has been, again, customer employee of the month over on the website. Hit him up. I see the conversations. If it's something I can chime in on, I will. But I'm running around crazy. So, but let us know if you have any questions, any thoughts, any concerns, or something you want us to cover or go over. We'll do our best to cover that content and make sure we get it out there. Don't forget the codes for your favorite YouTubers. Power Minds has one. RPM has one. New England Crypto. All these guys have promo codes through us. So pick your favorite YouTuber, utilize it, and do some shopping. So it helps us and it helps them. All right, guys. Take it easy. Have a good one.